Folks, welcome to the last day of the regular season here for the NA Challenger Elites. My name is Seymour. Alongside me is Cruisin. We're here to bring you 705 Esports versus Iron Blood Gaming and a live look in between Valor Esports as well as Red Wolves. It's going to be a fun one, Cruz. I mean, these two teams, they really have nothing to play for, so I'm ready to see everything just come out onto the table.
Whoa. Okay. There's a little bit to play for,
Just
you know?
A little bit.
They can play for 5th place right now, okay? That's what we're playing for at the moment. They can play for that top 5 spot, which, I mean, at the end of the day will just be for bragging rights, right? But you know what? You can still play for it. You can still walk away with a good amount of practice here today and feel good about yourselves going into the next stage and into qualifiers to be able to qualify for stage 4. So, you know what? I'd say there's a little bit of pride on the line, a little bit of, wanting to beat the other team, and maybe just some bragging rights on the line here today. But as you said, for overall score and overall kind of being in the standings, none of the 4 teams that we'll be taking a look at today will have an opportunity to be inside of that top 4. And this has got to be the most lopsided North America. Top side versus bottom side, I think we've had all season long so far.
I was going to bring that point up that throughout the seasons 1 and 2, we haven't really seen this much of a disconnect between the bottom 4 and the top 4. And it really surprises me, especially with the rosters that we have.
Right?
Right on screen above us, 705 and Iron Blood Gaming. I definitely thought those two would be in the top echelon of this season 3. Iron Blood Gaming being the previous 18 and cracked roster, and 705 Esports having world champions on it. I mean, you would never think that they would be, I guess, not qualifying for a playoff bracket, but here we are. And it's going to be an exciting one to see these two play for those bragging rights. You're right, Jesse. I can't really say that there's nothing on the line. There's a little bit on the line, Definitely those bragging rights are going to be important. But when you're looking at this main matchup, and we can talk about the maps for it, it's going to be Tuscan, Berlin, Bocage, and a Desert Siege. And I'm excited because, if this does go the distance, we get that Desert Siege. I'm always a big fan of it for a map 5.
Yeah, it's going to be really fun if we do end up going there as well, because both teams 0-2 on Desert Siege. So it'll be a little bit interesting, right? You get 2 teams who haven't even won a map in terms of that final map mode combination going up head-to-head against each other going into that one. But hey, you know what? We saw yesterday 705 absolutely turn around their search and destroy game inside of that final series that we saw on stream yesterday. So who knows? Maybe they come in today. They can completely hit that 180 once again, come out just 6-0 another team inside of a map 5. But you know what? We've got a long way to go if we're going to get to that Desert Siege search and destroy. But honestly, the rest of the maps, I mean, it's your typical maps, honestly, when we look at this at Vanguard, honestly. Like Tuscan, Berlin, Bocage, I feel like these 3 maps, if you're going to see some sort of variation of them inside of a series at every single point in time when you come in. Maybe we're seeing a little bit less Tuscan than what we have seen recently, but to see it kind of coming through here, it's nice to see it come back, because like you said, it's a match that probably doesn't mean so much. So I feel like teams are just going to play what they're comfortable with, as opposed to kind of playing against other teams that are trying to play against other teams' weaknesses.
Which honestly surprises me, seeing a Berlin control come through it, because I mean
that could be for practice.
Map coming out, I was going to say that. Yeah, that map coming out, into the veto system going into the season, probably here to just get some reps on it, get a little bit better for both of these teams. Because I'm sure, these two teams aren't the worst teams. Maybe they've had a bad season, but I wouldn't like to see them split up after this. So getting some reps going into the next season would be fantastic for each of them. Iron Blood Gaming, they just won Cup 10 over the weekend back in the last Challengers Cup. So that team is definitely one of the top teams in North America. They just had a bad elite season. It happens, but you really can't kind of hold yourself low on that point. This team's been around the block for quite a while. I'd like to see them stick together. Same with the 705 Esports team. I think there's a lot of trust that can be gained throughout the 705 Esports roster, and if they can get everything going for themselves and not be as inconsistent as we've seen in the past, this could be a deadly team.
For sure. And talking about Iron Blood, when you were saying they've had a little bit of a rough stage, it's also tough when they had a kind of a rough week 1. And then you come into week 2 and your 2 matches are Toronto and A and whatever it takes, right? Like those 2 matches going up against those guys yesterday, very, very tough matches. And when you look at the maps that they lost yesterday as well, they lost a Berlin hardpoint to Toronto and A, 250 to 222. They lost a Berlin control 3-2. Then they lost a Berlin hardpoint to whatever it takes, 250 to 201. And then they lost a Tuscan control 3-2. Those are 4 maps that a couple gunfights go a different way. Maybe you get the final defense in one of those controls. You easily could have walked away with the win on any of those maps. So it's just one of those things. It's a little bit tough. They just kind of need to learn from their mistakes and come back a little bit stronger stronger inside the next stage. But I'm right there with you. I hope that neither of these two teams make a change. I think the 705 roster could be really, really good on paper. I think it's just going to come down to them getting more reps, more practice together, and just kind of continuing to play through their ups and downs and trying to come out inside of the next stage. Now, a roster that I do think needs to probably make a change is Valor, unfortunately. We were talking about it a little bit before going into this one. I know they're not in our main kind of look at things, but they are in our bottom four that we will be looking at, taking a look at today. And I don't know, man, Phantoms, Rex, Yeez, and Exotic, that is a team I expect to be doing way better than 0-16 and 0-6 with an 8 and 18 map count. I just like, it is just not what you expect from a team with the caliber of players that you have on that roster.
And they played 705 esports yesterday on stream. You and I were able to watch that, and both of those teams, I mean, it was competitive between it. 705 actually almost got reverse swept by Valor Esports, but then that 6-0 sweep in Search and Destroy into Game 5 came through, and 705 just bullied their way back to a series victory. So, you know, you can say what you want about this season and how disconnected it is from the top side to the bottom side, but the games have been competitive.
Oh,
I
for
think
sure.
it's crazy how disconnected the top half and the bottom half are, because when you realistically look at what we've had throughout these matches and through each series, they've been super competitive. Even this Red Wolves team that we're going to be looking at versus Valor have been competitive, and it's their first time inside of the elite stage. That's another squad of players who they made it to the elites, and they had a chance to prove themselves. They haven't yet, I'd say, with only one match win. That match win being a 3-0 over Toronto NA back in day one. And, you know, some might say it was a little bit of a fluke. Maybe Toronto NA weren't playing up to their best in that series. But either way, Red Wolves, they take them down on a 3-0 for their first ever match inside the elites. That's a team I would also like to maybe take another swing at elites, see if they can make it the next go around. But we're going to have to see how they fare up to each other today. All these teams, Jesse, playing for some bragging rights. I'm excited to get into the matches when we do, because I guess we're waiting on both series to get going. But, you know, Cruisin', when you're realistically looking at both of these two matches going on, is there anything that you're unimpressed with, like for these squads that you would like to see change up? Maybe any of these squads maybe looking to make a change?
I mean, like looking to make a change in terms of rosters, or looking to make a change in terms of play? I think that Valor, and this is going to be probably an unpopular opinion, I feel like Phantoms and Rex have been playing together for a long time, and just like they find some success here and there, and then they kind of fall off and they don't really find success. And you're playing with Yeez and Exotic right now, who are two players who are very good in their own rights. I mean, Yeez is a substitute for the CDL. Exotic has been inside and outside of the Pro League a few times, maybe not inside of the CWL or inside of the CDL, but inside of different Pro Leagues at times. And I feel like that roster should be working together a lot better. Even Phantoms, I believe it was Black Ops 4, he was in the Pro League as well. So it's just like, I don't know. I feel like maybe Phantoms and Rex might need to kind of separate, go their own ways. It kind of reminds me of back in the day when you had Attach and Zuma playing together on that phase roster for so long together. And then eventually they just kind of were in a spot where it was like, can we win together? Sure. But maybe it's just time to get a change. And I think maybe it might just be time for Phantoms and Rex to kind of split up and go find their own ways inside of the challengers.
We're going to have to wait a few more matches to see what's actually going to happen. You know, Jesse, I do agree with a lot of the things you're saying. We're just going to have to wait to see how the players are going to agree after this elite season is done. Folks, we're going to cut to a quick break while we get these matches going. It seems like we're having some issues getting the players into the lobby and getting things set up. So when we come back, we're going to have a match underway. Stay tuned. We'll see you there. Welcome back. It's time to kick things into gear. We're hopping in with the Red Bulls versus Valor. First go around on Tuscan Hardpoint as we're on board with Juju. And look at that kill feed. It's the Red Wolves flawless so far into this first hill, Jesse.
Absolutely what you like to see off the rip here. You can get a good chunk of time on this first hill if you're able to do things the right way. And Juju's actually going to make a big flank play in from behind as well. We'll find one, won't find the second onto Exotic. And unfortunately, not finding that kill won't be able to flip those spawns out either. So now they actually get contested for this time. They'll probably end up losing these back 20 seconds unless we see a break come in here from the Red Wolves. But, I mean, honestly, I expect to see both teams starting to put a lot of focus on getting the rotations over towards P2 very shortly.
It's a heartbreaking gunfight against Exotic if you're Juju now. A lot of work to be done for the Red Wolves to flip things out. Going into the second rotation. Look at the forward progression here, or the forward aggression from player number 5, Dylan Rex. He's just going to be watching through that P5, waiting for the rotation to come through for the Red Wolves. Should be able to shut down Geo here. Well, the rest of the team for the Red Wolves are flooding on through Church. Geo's going to drop. Phantoms finds Hate on the opposite side of the map. Now Red Wolves down to 2 players for this retake, and they've absolutely halted their operation, Jesse. They have no way into this, and they're still getting picked apart. Valor, they have answered back with a flawless rotation of their own after losing it on P1 early.
Yeah, I mean, not only a flawless rotation, but also pretty much got the back 30 seconds up P1. So, I mean, it works out perfectly for them in that exact situation there. Rex will take another fight on the outside and win it. And speaking of Rex, that little corner that he was playing outside of this, I don't know how we are, how many months into this game, and we're still not checking that corner on rotation. It just doesn't make any sense to me. But Valor, they'll end up getting broken for the remaining time here, but I think they're okay with it because they're just going to wrap completely across the map, get a nice full setup over for this P3 setup at the Fountain Hill. And, I mean, this could be a tough rotation now for the Red Wolves. And if they're going to get out-rotated like this hill after hill after hill, they're going to be in a really rough spot. So need to start putting some focus on the rotations.
And Red Wolves just chasing ghosts at the moment from hill to hill. They have been able to pick up scrap time over at P2, but still down 64 to 29. Player number 3, Hate, looking to sneak on through, but Exotic sniffs it out. And now you're looking at the Red Wolves to break on through fire, but you have to get you through Yeez first, and that's not going to happen. Geo looking to make a play now into the hill. Phantom shuts him down, and everybody's dying for Red Wolves. Nobody has gotten a kill in so long, Jesse. You have a combined 8 spree for all the Valor players.
Yeah, this is not looking good. The kill feed just feels like it is so white. Geo will end up picking up 1, but that's another 4 down and another 4 spree here for the team in white. Valor Esports really starting to turn things up here now inside of this game, and they're looking to try to overextend across the middle of the map. They're winning out on all of these gunfights. It's getting a little bit ridiculous at the moment, but they will end up being able to stabilize. They'll be inside of the church, but they need to deal with Yeez in the back line. He's trying to make a flip to get these spawns in the back. He will pick up 1, and this head glitch is so tough to even rip a submachine gun off of it.
I mean, you haven't been able to rip Yeez off of lesser than that head glitch. Rex is going to come in for the help to go down inside the church. Trade back. And the same equalizer is going to be the Red Wolves. Now their chance to break. They have hill control at the moment. Rex disengages. Now looking to get back into things with the respawning teammates. They're set up. Juju for the first. In comes Rex, traded out. Back and forth they go, but it's going to be majority in favor of Red Wolves until Yeez comes around the corner. 1v1 into the hill. Phantom's going to back up, goes back in for Hate. At the moment, he's just going to sit, pick up this time. Hate's not going to challenge this. Finally going on in. Phantoms to rip him through, and look at that. Still in control is going to be Valor Esports for the rest of the scrap time as soon as they take down Geo.
Yeah, and there's an opportunity now to actually be able to get across the map into the command center as well for that P5 hill. You can see player number 6 will be the first player trying to make his way through. It'll be Nick Hate needing to kind of make a big play here to shut this down, not allow this push to come through. He will find 1, but unfortunately, all the other gunfights will go the way of Valor, and now it's just Dark over towards this hill, needing to try to make a play onto this, and yeah, it's just not a great situation. And another flawless rotation from Valor Esports.
Look at Exotic, is so annoying. Having to play for these hills, already spawning out, and you're having to check every single corner because Exotic is sitting in every one of them. And you never know which one he's going to be in. 17-7 for himself, having quite the game, but realistically, nobody on Valor is having a bad game right now. Z3 go down again. Only one here is going to be Darkseed, and as he drops, it's still time ticking the way of Valor Esports. 162 to 48. This is starting to get ugly, Jesse.
And it could get really ugly here if Rex is able to find streaks on 5 in a row, looking to possibly find this 5th in a row. Sees Juju drop down. But unfortunately just gets a little bit cameraed in that spot, and Juju will walk away with the fight. That's going to be Valor not finding streaks. But what they do find is a nice 125-point lead at the end of the first set of rotations, and they do look like they will be the first team back over towards P1. And the break from the Red Wolves, it needs to come from middle of the map.
Looking for the middle map, and you see Rex wasn't able to pick up those streaks, but Exotic on 5 of his own. One being picked apart here. The Red Wolves. Geo somehow managed to slip in, even though tagged down Yeez for the trade early. Exotic still on that 5 spree as well. It's lurking inside of this P1 as they flip the map out for the better rotation. Rex drops to the middle, flooding on in. Are going to the Red Wolves. Phantoms cuts down 2 before dropping. Darkseed once again. The last one here. Yeez can't swap in time. Exotic now looking to clean up this last player. 6 in a row. Next will be a glide bomb. He's going to swing on out to the edge. That's going to be a glide bomb picked up. Can he find the last one? It's going to be Hate inside the hill. Finally going to break, but here comes Yeez knocking, and Phantoms will get there first.
Yeah, they said, oh, you thought no break coming in for you. Everybody on the side of the Red Wolves will end up falling again, and now it's Geo trying to make the overextension across the map. We'll be able to find Exotic, so that's a big kill just to try to get some stabilization, try to get these spawns in the back. But, I mean, at this point of the game, you're down 225 to 64, and, I mean, you're going to need a miracle to come back inside of this one if you're the Red Wolves.
Oh, Geo. I'm going to take that early gunfight there, but still going to manage to find the kill. Glide bomb's going to be invested from Exotic right away. Now looking to find the rest of them around the outside. Geo no longer residing in the spawn. Red Wolves in control of the hill for now. Darkseed and Juju will combine for 3 in a row. Holds on to this hill for now, Jesse. This is the best time we've seen from the Red Wolves yet, and they are down 79 to 225. Darkseed's going to get a little bit aggressive, find Yeez around the corner. Still spawning up here will be Valor Esports, so Darkseed a lot of work to get through. He's going to drop to Rex. Nick Hate for the trade. A collapse coming in from Valor all around the hill. They can put this one away here, but it has to be through these players of Red Wolves, and it looks like Red Wolves have held on long enough that we're going to another hill.
And there is an opportunity here now for the Red Wolves as well to be able to kind of pin Valor in the back of the spawn and make the full rotation over towards Fountain. And you can see that's exactly where Juju's going right now on the minimap. Player number 2 is just going to play the top left-hand side of the minimap, try to pick off any of the Valor players that are going to now try to slip the line here. And if they can get the flawless rotation from P2 over here to P3,
oh, no.
There is a small opportunity, but unfortunately, it's just not looking fantastic right now, because even if they hold on to this time, they'll still be down around 90 points.
Surely they don't make this. Surely they don't make this happen. You see the nades
can't see a world where this happens.
Valor looking to fly on forward. Yeez trades out Darkseed. The break's going to come through now. Heroics needs to be the recipe to success here for Red Wolves to hold on to the rest of this, as you still have some Valor Esports players around it. Geo now needs to go big, almost finding 4 in the row, but it's going to be broken. Nade from Phantoms, keeping Rex inside this hill, as Phantom's going to cut down Darkseed as well. We're going to put this map away here and now. Only 9 seconds remaining. As you can see, Red Wolves looking to make one last hurrah from the backside. They're going to get the break, Jesse. They're going to hold on for the rest of this hill 3. But now it's a race to church. It's a race to see how long can you hold on.
And Darkseid will be the first one in, but yeah, this should be Valor's to close out right here. Only need 7 seconds to put the game away. Nick Hate will push in, but Geo and Nick Hate combine for 4, and they'll break their way into the hill, and they hold off Valor taking the game again. 7 seconds needed. All you need is 1 break.
You need is 1 break, but we've said that, Jesse, for now. 2 hills in a row. Hate going to be holding off on the inside. Geo, Darkseed tearing things up around the outside of Church. Geo gets aggressive. Darkseed for the trade. Player number 7 is going to be here. It's Yeez. Juju finds the trade once more. Valor into this hill. Exotic's going to finally get in for time. 5 seconds left. Can Geo make the play? You have Nick Hay with them. They need to get this break now. 2 seconds remaining. Rex is going to cut them down. And finally, Valor Esports put a pin in Tuscan Hardpoint. Going up 1-0 in the series, but Jesse, that was not a pretty end to the map. Valor Esports, they definitely should have had that a couple hills earlier.
Yeah, they definitely should have. From one Tuscan to another, we hop right over towards 705 Esports versus Ironblood. We're into hill number 3, and it looks like this has been a very scrappy one here so far. 705, they do have control at the moment of the back spawn, so starting to pick up the time here, starting to lock things down, and with 20 seconds left on this hill, it's looking like Ironblood should just be contesting, or should just be conceding this hill, and now rotating across the map to set up for something new, but it looks like DiamondCon may have just slipped the line.
Oh, DiamondCon in such a good position to flip things out going into this P4 royalty. Looking to back him up. He doesn't know Noisy is around the door, and he's not going to check it, so Noisy will cut him down. Trades ringing out for 705. Exceed keeping things in Ironblood Gaming's favor. They still haven't found DiamondCon, so royalty actually spawns up in the back there. So not going to let him slip on in, as it looks like the jig should be up. Noisy here to surge on forward and collapse. Well, he's going to take down DiamondCon as well, Jesse. And even though the spawns get pulled for Ironblood Gaming, or so for for 705 Esports. They haven't been able to break into this hill, and Ironblood getting a good chunk of time.
They are, but for how long can they hold off this hit from the back, right? Because 705 do have those closer spawns. They continuously reinforce inside of this hill, and now they'll get the consistent setup that they need here to be able to break their way in. It's just Noisy who's the furthest player pushed forward to try to contest and get inside of this hill. And you know what? At the very least, if you're Ironblood here, you haven't given up really any time.
100 to 46 as we rotate over to P5. He's making one last shot at this hill just because he can. The rest of Ironblood Gaming are going to rotate over to P5, be there first as well for the setup. On the outside of patio, looks like Pristini gets spotted. Nice shots from Noisy. Expect Royal to be there. Pre-fire's going to hit. Looks to hunt him down. He's going to get the kill. Diamond Cut for the trade. And now you're looking at 705 Esports. They actually have a pinch because these spawns are coming up on either side of the hill, Jesse. So you have to be careful if you're Ironblood. You got Classic coming around that rooftop.
The pinch would work out perfectly, but everybody loses individual gunfights, and Ironblood Gaming, they will hold strong. The defense is there, and this is looking like a very solid hold here, because now they can just focus on one side of the hill. You don't need to be looking all the way around, and you need to now just stop a full prong attack coming in from the likes of 705, who are trying to hit from the left side.
For the hill right now. A lot of time for 705 here as Ironblood Gaming looking to siege them out. They can't find the kills for the break, but they're going to be there on the rotation. Royalty gets caught out, and now it's a good chance for Ironblood Gaming to set up early into the second set, Jesse.
Yeah, it's a good chance to bring yourselves back into this game. You did a good job in the back half of that hill or in the back half of that set of rotations to kind of bring yourself back into it, but you will find yourself still down around 50 seconds heading into the start of the second set of rotation. So definitely need to be on your mind to start to come back inside of this game, and trades do not help you inside of this situation right now, because you're just giving more of an opportunity for 705 to be able to get into this hill. It needs to be cleaned, it needs to be precise, and it absolutely has been here so far for Ironblood.
A flurry of kills going their favor. Exceed looking to punish the respawns, not going to find anything more. To the hill for now as we're going to amass the 100-point marker if you're Ironblood Gaming. Another 3 go down. The only player here is going to be Classic inside of you. Has actually managed to slip the line, but Assault finally going to catch his number. Noisy on wheels right now. 4 in a row. Can't find a 5th. Diamond Con going to put an end to that spree, and this is a great start for Ironblood Gaming's comeback.
2 massive kills there for Diamond Con. Not only finds and stops the spree for Noisy, but also stops the 4 spree Assault was on as well. So you get 2 massive kills there. But if you're Ironblood, you know what? That's 30 seconds that you've been able to bring back in your favor. You'll take that every day of the week, and you've got the full setup heading over towards P1 here for yourself. So definitely not a bad situation to be in here if you're Ironblood Gaming. But 705 Esports, though, however, have been able to break in from the front, and now they look to just try to hold this from the front and pin you in the back of your spawn.
Rossini rings off 3 in a row. He's on a 5 spree. Exceed will be able to cut that down. 705 pushing their lead.
They haven't realized the spawn out.
No, they haven't realized the spawn out at all, Jesse. So soon going to get a wake-up call. Assault top radio removes Diamond Con from inside this hill. Royalty up top on the high ground is going to fly on forward. Doesn't spot out Noisy, but it's going to be Classic to clean him up. Back and forth trades, but it's 705 walking out on top, Jesse. And now Ironblood, look where they're spawning. Back church.
Yeah, but they will have numbers going across the map over towards the new hill. But with the way that Persini's shooting right now, it feels like he's 2-man in himself, and he will drop down 2. They will win the rotation over towards the Fountain Hill, and now Ironblood, they're going to need to group up as a 4-man unit and try to hit this one from the front.
Nades are going to ring out. Look out where Royalty's standing all the way in the corner, so the nades don't hit him. Here comes Wellings for the contention. It's cut down. Trades from Assault. Noisy is going to ping off Prestini all the way in the back. And the break, so far, so good. Diamond Con's the only one here all the way in the back. Looking to take some shots. And finds Assault as well. And right off the respawn, 705, they just cut them down. Exceed now, wondering where his teammates went. Well, they're back on the respawn. He's going to find one onto Royalty at least. Back into the hill he goes to soak up some more time. 24 seconds to play for here. 705 still expending some players. Diamond Con to Classic all the way in the back. Diamond Con finds 2. Exceed inside the hill. The shots are good, but he can't finish it out. Gonna swap to the MP40. Takes down Diamond Con, but Classic picking up the scrap time.
The scrap time will go the way of 705, so we'll mask that 200-point mark, put them around 50 points off, being able to close this game out. Ironblood Gaming, they need to answer back with a massive hold of their own if they want to bring themselves back into this game and not get into that situation where they need to play perfect COD. At this point in time, you still have some opportunities where you can make a couple of mistakes here, but it's getting to that very, very slim amount of time, especially because 705 have a very solid setup inside of Church.
Yeah, look at the middle map control as well. DiamondCon just hasn't been missing. Pristini watching northern side of this, and Classic comes around the back. He's gonna pinch it out, finds two, shuts it down. Classic on 5 in a row, 24 and 19 inside of this map, and old Royalty just snapped onto Exceed, slides around, gets back into things. 225, and this could be it. Inside of the Tuscan, you're gonna need something big from Assault here. He's the only one that can touch at the moment. DiamondCon cuts down 2. Pristini's here to shut the door. Noisy finds the trade, but here comes Royalty back into it. And 14 seconds left is plenty enough time to put away this Tuscan. You can see the spawns coming out from Ironblood all the way in the back. So this is their last shot at sending this to eat a little bit more inside of the map. But as 4 go down, DiamondCon's on 10 in a row. And 7:05, they close out map 1.
It's kind of funny too, because we have almost identical scores in our 2 games on those 2 Tuscan hardpoints. 250 to 135 here was a 250 to 136 for Valor Esports, but vastly different games. It felt like Valor was never out of control of that game. But when we came into this one, it was still looking very, very scrappy. But Ironblood, they just really couldn't get anything rolling in that second set of rotations. 1705 started to get rolling once they got that big setup over in P1 in the second set, and then just kind of strung it into P2, then strung it into P3. It just kind of gets heavier and heavier and heavier, and it's harder to bounce back, hit that teeter-totter back in your favor. And honestly, they had no answer for 705 once they heated up.
Well, it's hard to answer back when you have DiamondCon on 10 in a row at the end. Pristini finding 3 pieces left, right, and center. And as we pan our attention now to our first matchup that we saw between Red Wolves and Valor Esports, we can really kind of pick apart what we saw there, because Red Wolves, they were struggling against this team. And you were talking about, you know, Rex and Phantoms, they haven't looked the best together so far. Well, look at their scoreline. Both players only dying 15 or 16 times and both putting up quite a lot of damage.
Okay, let's just kind of reel that in. I wasn't saying that they don't look good together. I'm saying that it might be time for a change, is what I was saying with the 2 of them. But they looked fantastic in that map number 1. I don't think there's any question about that. They're 29 and 15, 27 and 16. You really can't complain. But also nobody on the team really performing badly. He's had the worst numbers on the team at 27 and 24, but he was still dropping a good amount of time inside of the hill. We pan our focus back over now towards 705 and Ironblood Gaming. We can take a look at the stats here. Assault had a very good map for Ironblood at 30 and 23, but nobody else on the team goes positive.
30 and 23, but it's just not enough from the supporting cast. You look at 705 Esports, all players pretty much having a fantastic game, other than Royalty, who was 21 and 25, but even still, 12 of those 21 kills were untraded, and every single time I saw Royalty finding at least a kill, Jesse, it was a very important kill for a rotation or holding off the front of a hill. So everybody doing their job on 705 Esports. And as I was saying before we took a look at that Valor Esports scoreboard, I was saying Pristini and DiamondCon, every single time I saw them in the feed, it was 1 to 3 kills in a feed.
It really did feel like that. And I think the big difference when you look at these 2 teams and we talk about the fact of Assault having a good game and nobody else really kind of having a great game is the fact that even though Royalty doesn't have a great game on 705, still drops 2,300 damage. Welly, 11 and 29, only 1,900 damage. It's just not enough. You need to be a little bit better than that going up against a team of the caliber of 705 Esports. We can take a look at our maps and modes here. And this is our focus match for right now. And it's 705 Esports taking that map 1, that Tuscan hardpoint. We go to Tuscan Search and Destroy next as well. And I mean, this is where you have to strike, right? If you're Ironblood Gaming, you know how weak 705 Search and Destroy has been outside of last night. I feel like from that one map that we saw from them on that Bocage Search and Destroy, or I should say just against were they playing last night that we saw in that final game? They were playing Valor. They won both Search and Destroys in that. And those were the first 2 Search and Destroys. They've won all of Stage 3.
And that's the team who was, what, 0-6 after day 3. So, you know, take what you want from that game. It's just not a comfortable, you know, stat to walk into if you're 705 Esports. So Ironblood Gaming definitely looking to bounce back here. And Jesse, when you're looking at a Tuscan, since we just saw 2 Tuscan hardpoints, what do you want to see maybe going to come through from Ironblood Gaming inside of the Search and Destroy map?
Honestly, I just want to see some wacky strats right now, because like we said, we came into this one like there is some stuff on the line here, like for example, like a little bit more cash, right? And you get a little bit of bragging rights, and then obviously we were talking about it in between the break, but there's also pro points on the line for seeding inside of Toronto as well for the LAN event that's going on there. But I mean, outside of that, why not just try some wacky things right now? Try to find some new strats to maybe bring with you going to Toronto. You would love to find maybe a new nade spot, find some new ways to be able to break inside of the B site. Just do something different, right? We got Tuscan, I believe, for both our series, right, as our map number 2. Yes, exactly. So it's, I mean, why not just try something different when you go into this one and just try to make your opponent as uncomfortable as possible?
Well, it's not even that. It's like, why not try something new that you've been practicing as a team? And maybe it might not be comfortable to play an official match setting, but right now in this match setting, it's just one of those cases where you could try it. And if it works, it's going to be great. If not, then you know what your answer is with that strat, or maybe you get a hint at what you need to practice a little bit more. Maybe something you need to change up going into the future, especially going into a LAN like that Toronto Major. You want to make sure that every strat that you have on your mind is ironed out going into it. And I'm excited, to see if we are going to get those strats, if we are going to get something wacky going into the search and destroy, Jesse, because right now, I mean, 705 Esports, from what we saw yesterday, if you allow them to get aggressive like they were in that Bocage, they're going to bully, and you don't want to have that happen if you're Ironblood.
I was literally just about to bring that up. I think that if you are 705 and you're coming into this one, I think you're trying to just get as comfortable on the map as possible and just run at the other team. I think that was how they found success yesterday on Bocage. They got comfortable, they got aggressive, and they were playing confident. That was the big thing. We haven't seen the confidence like that really out of anybody that I have watched so far here through stage 3. And so if they can play that confident, that comfortable against Ironblood inside of the Search and Destroy, I don't see a reason why they can't come out and they can't take a Tuscan S&D, even though they haven't been the greatest on this map mode combination. Actually, I say that, but I look over, and they're 1-0 on this, so one of their only 2 wins inside of Search and Destroy has been a Tuscan S&D, so maybe this might just be 705's recipe for success here.
And I guess if you're kind of looking at anything from 705, when we were critiquing them quite a bit yesterday, Jesse, we were talking about how hot or cold they are. And a lot of that, especially in a Search and Destroy, is going to fall on those veterans. And you look at, players like Classic and Pristini, world champions in their own rights. And especially if Classic is having a good game in a Search and Destroy, he's always finding those first bloods and getting out with his life. And he can be a very annoying player to play against. And inside a map like Tuscan, that can enable his sort of play style.
I agree with you with Classic, but also Pristini as well. Pristini has always been a very interesting player inside of Search and Destroy because it always feels like he's getting first blood or he's getting first blooded. It's just one of those situations with Pristini where it's like sometimes you just kind of need to put the leash on him and slow him down a little bit to get the most out of him. And, maybe they might be able to find that here today. But, I mean, he was cooking last night inside of that Bocage Search and Destroy, so hopefully we can see him find some sort of way to replicate that here today inside of this map. But here we go. Now we can hop right in to the Search and Destroy, and right off the rip we're going to see 705 Esports. They're going to be on the defense. They have completely taken you control.
Taking you control, Jesse, but I don't think that's going to be what you need. You look at the attack from Ironblood, and they're going for church control. They've already taken down Royalty. You're going to force out 705 now to rotate on through. Classic has to turn around. He's going to have a lot on his menu, and Exceed just running through them all. Another one's going to drop. This time it's Classic. A 4v2. The bomb should be going down. And just look at where the last 2 705 players are going to be standing. The information is there. If anything, you need Diamond COD to stay alive. Maybe make a play and find a blood. But luckily, if you're 705, that bomb hasn't gone down yet. He's going to spot Noisy. Nasty angle.
It's a massive kill there as well to be able to get that player off the bomb. And now you need to be weary of that too if you're Ironblood. So Ironblood actually just going to back up. It looks like they want to try to make a full wrap through their spawn, maybe get over towards the B site or maybe take through middle of the map just to get control. But it looks like the call has come through. The full hightail over towards B. All 3 players, it is absolutely on. Diamondcon is definitely in a spot where if he reads this properly, he can definitely play spoiler to this, but it doesn't look like 705 is going to get there in time. Bomb will go down, and 40 seconds left to find the defuse.
Salt in the corner. Pristini and Diamondcon working together. Through P5 is quiet as church mice at the moment, but Assault in a position to at least find one. Peeking out the corner is going to be Pristini. He loses his life. Last one up is going to be Diamondcon. They know exactly where he is. Assault looks to get out, but it's going to be a trade leading them to a round 1 win. Ironblood Gaming, what a round 1 strat, Jesse. Running it through P5 all the way through Church. They take down Royalty. They take the round.
Yeah, it's an interesting strat, right? Because they usually, when you see a team going through command center, it's a full-on push over towards the B site, but not the case. They kind of bait out B, send everybody in over towards middle of the map, and they're able to get in and having some fun with the gestures right now. Inside of the spawn is the rest of the players on Iron Blood Gaming. But yeah, that was a really good first round there for themselves. Now they find themselves on defense here, and 705 Esports. It looks like they want to try to attack towards the upper side of the map, towards the A site.
Ready, classic down. And Persini gets caught through the middle of the map. Noisy's going to find a third now in the round. And just like that, Ironblood dust 705 off their boots. And they find a second round in the search. You know, I don't even know what wrong there for 705. They just lost every single gunfight that they peeked into. It seemed like Ironblood just knew where to look and when to look.
Didn't even feel like they were really shooting back, to be honest, there, Colin. It felt like they were just running into pre-set up players on Iron Blood Gaming. So maybe the strat from yesterday of, just hightailing it and running right at the other team and winning all your gunfights might not work out against Iron Blood on a map like this, where they can just sit back and set up on head glitches and just drop you down as you push. But that's back-to-back rounds now where you found first blood for Iron Blood, and they've turned it into round wins. But this time through, Classic will find first, Royalty will find second, and Bomb is now down in a really bad spot towards the monument.
It's a big change of pace now. Lot on the line between Assault and Exceed to get through. You see Exceed's making a full wrap through command center. He's going to be player number 7. Oh, they pass right by each other. They didn't see each other, Jesse. Pristini and Exceed basically brushing shoulders. Yeah, they might as well just have high-fived. But instead, there's going to be now a chance for Exceed to get a pinch onto these players. Assault's going to answer with a first. Here comes Exceed around the corner, finds Royalty inside you, and immediately we're back into a 2v2.
This is a round that you cannot lose if you are 705 Esports. I mean, like a 4v2. Yeah, you allow Exceed to slip the line, but now a 4v2 now turned into a 2v1 for Iron Blood Gaming. They have absolutely turned this whole round around, and now it's down to the man who went on a 10 spree to end map 1. DiamondCon looking to see if he can find any bit of success here, but you can see Ironblood have absolutely no interest in going towards A. The full wrap is on over towards the B site. It's exactly what we saw in round number 1, maybe just in a little bit of an opposite direction. He will find Exceed, and now it's just down to a 1v1. He gets out.
No time to plan, Assault. He hopped off the bomb. He thought DiamondCon was going to chow that, and no, DiamondCon just backs up. He was conceding the bomb plant, but instead Assault goes for the chase, and it doesn't pan out. A 4v2 made a 2v2. Exceed and Assault, they pull things back into a 2v1, and DiamondCon finesses a round win. That is sweat wiped off your forehead if you're 705.
Yeah, I mean, if you go down 2-0 and then end up going down 3-0 while being 2v4'd, I feel like that's Chalk City right there, right? Like, that is like one of those situations where you're like, oh man, like we can't do anything right on this map, but they're able to get it done. They're able to start to bring their way back into the game. Exactly what they need to do here, but we'll see what 705 can do now on their offense, because in their last offense, they just got completely wiped out.
Well, Wally's going to answer back into this round with 2 kills in a row to open it up. Exceed now making Pristini last alive in a 1v3, and it looks like he's hot on his trail. He's going to be receiving a door to the face, Jesse, from Pristini, and he's a little bit, I guess, jarred from it, but he restabilizes it, and he's going to find his 6th kill into the search and destroy.
Well, we're 4 rounds into search and destroy, 2 offenses apiece, and both offenses from 705 have been absolutely abysmal so far. I mean, I think they found 1 kill through 2 offensive rounds, so definitely think they might need to just slow the pace down a little bit on offense, try to find a pick before really flying out, and maybe just play together a little bit. Right now, they're just playing a little bit staggered, a little bit across the map to get information, but it's just not working out when you're just getting pieced player after player by Iron Blood Gaming, and Assault will pick up first blood again.
It's on to Persini, like you said. He's either the first blooder or the first bloody. Luckily, Royalty does find the trade, and DiamondCon will bring numbers back for 705.
Oh no, not the window.
Royalty closed the window. He's like, nope, can't see me. I'm gone. He's going to join up with DiamondCon now to overwhelm Assault in the back, and Assault won't even find 1 kill. 705 with a quick answer back, 3-2.
So they've shown they can win defenses, but it really comes down to this offense. I'm going to be paying like extra attention this round to see what they do off the break-off, because no offense so far for them has been successful. It doesn't seem to matter what they decide to do off the start of these rounds. It just feels like Ironblood get set up inside of the middle of the map and just pick them off one by one because of how much quicker the defense is able to get there now. But we'll just have to see if 705 can do something a little bit different this time through will be 2 players kind of splitting off, going down towards the bottom side of the map, 2 players trying to take mid-map control. And maybe it's just a fact of them losing those gunfights middle of the map, which starts them off so poorly inside of this round. But here we go inside of this round. And so far through, a lot better. They haven't lost a life yet.
Exceed has full control of command center, but looks like 705. They just want to dart down the middle of the map. Classic is going to find Welly looking the wrong way. Drop down to 4 HP, but he's able to escape with his life back over to the B side, and it draws Exceed away from the command center. Classic's gonna have 2 lined up here. Almost finds Assault, but it's only gonna be 1. 2v2 we go. In the back line is gonna be Noisy. Chance to punish this 705 setup. Pristini grabs the bomb. It's gonna be right back onto the ground. Diamondcon now last alive in a 2v1 as he's residing towards the church.
And I would imagine he has some sort of an idea of where these 2 players are, but actually with how fast they've ran and grouped back up together, he's gonna have absolutely no idea that these 2 players are together and running around like this. And unfortunately, just kind of bad timing through middle of the map, not able to spot out the players. And now if you're Ironblood, they're just going to push up.
Flank.
And yeah, and he's been spotted. This is just, yeah, it's not a great spot to be in with 18 seconds left. It's pretty much having to take 2 massive gunfights and win them out to be able to close the round out, and it's just not going to happen in that spot. Ironblood will win another round, and 705 still yet to take an offense.
It was a valiant effort from Diamondcon here. Look, he gets quite a few shots onto Assault as well. I mean, well, I guess not as many shots as I thought he did hit, but he knew where to look. He knew where to shoot. Just it's a head glitch, and it's an Adam Assault waiting for you. So not a lot.
A world champion
there, yeah, world champion of his own, by the way. So Ironblood Gaming going to go back into their 2-round comfort zone, and what are we going to see off the break off for their offense? It looks like they're going to send 3 people over towards command center, and 705 Esports, they send 2 through mid. Player number 5 is going to be here. Classic, perfect chance to really get in behind and spoil this fun.
It's very similar to what we saw there inside of their first round. They just hit straight through command center, then straight in through middle of the map to try to get in, try to find these first bloods, and they have completely just staggered this defense of 705, but you will still get a first blood from Diamondcon.
Classic still here. I don't know if they knew that. He's on 72 HP, so I'm sure they do, but still going to find Noisy. That's bombed down. 2v3. Assault evens us up again. Coming around on the flank is going to be Welly. Find a good timing. He will. Pristini last alive in a 1v2. Time after time we have seen this 4705 Esports to be on the back foot, but Pristini's going to just wrap all the way around. He does have an MP40 in hand, so will be well equipped to take these close engagements, Jesse. But the bomb is down first to Ironblood, so time for Pristini to work with. And as it gets picked up, I think Pristini has the right read on this. If he checks the B bomb, gets that down.
He's only got 14 bullets though in his gun.
To get this, Assault's going to get spotted. First kill's going to go through. Bomb getting planted. Welly, he's going to stick it this time.
Pristini will back up. Has 30 bullets left to play with here with the automaton in hand. It actually looks like both players are going to wrap towards the defensive side.
Uh-oh. Pristini checks it! Whoo! Pristini with the ice! 1v2, he's going to get it done. Completely reading that flank out of Welly.
Massive play from Pristini just to keep 705 inside of the game right now. You went out on a big one-on-one, or I guess a big 1-on-2 there, and had very little ammo to work with in either gun. 14 bullets left in the automaton, or sorry, in the MP40 when he first took his first fight there. Ended up, I think, maybe having 3 or 4 bullets left there. And then when he took the second fight with the automaton in hand, he really didn't have an opportunity to have a poke fight there. It was 100% needed to make an aggressive play, makes the aggressive play and gets it done. And here comes a change of pace. Diamondcon pulls out a sniper, and he's going to watch over the A side of the map with it, trying to shut down the dominance that we've seen from Ironblood Gaming on their defenses.
Wait for the jump shot. Raid over the wall. Nobody there for Ironblood. As you can see through the X-ray vision. In fact, very passive out of Ironblood Gaming. Bomb should go down, Jesse, in this whole scenario.
And it will. Bomb goes down for free over at the A zone. Exceed also has a sniper out, and he will find Pristini through the broken apartments, and very quickly it's become a 2 versus 4, and that's another 705 offense looking really rough.
Oh, he hits the first one. Second one's going to be there, but Exceed watching, and Welly cleans up the last. Royalty's going to get caught by the rat, and a free defuse from Ironblood to now go on map point, Jesse. You had Exceed opening up with that first blood, and Noisy wins this gunfight over towards Command Center. And after that, I mean, it was just full map control for Ironblood Gaming.
Yeah, Ironblood just have 705's number right now on offense. I mean, 705 are trying different things. They're trying to find a way to get out and just kind of break their way through a lot of these situations. They just have yet to find it here inside of this map. And now Ironblood have an opportunity to close this one out. You're going to need 3 rounds in a row to 705 if they want to be able to win this map out and they want to be able to walk away with a 2-0 series lead here. But very likely, especially with an offense looming still for 705, it's feeling like this could very much so be an Ironblood Gaming win.
Very aggressive out of 705. All 3 players just looking to fly. Welly holds his ground, finds one. And that is the A site gone. Your Ironblood Gaming. And on the hunt now, 705. They don't want to just stop there. It looks like they're going to keep going. Jesse and Exceed, he's going to have a lot to do already inside the pillars. Spotted out from DiamondCon. Oh, a hit marker. Oh, no. Hoping to get that one back. Bomb getting planted from Ironblood Gaming. 705 already here for the retake. It's a 3v3. Could have been a 3v2 if DiamondCon hits that shot. But now a sniper for this all. Exceed's going to spot that one out. Meets them inside Radio. Classic's going to find 2. All of a sudden, it's 1v2 and Assault last alive. Chance for 705 to push this even farther. They're going to have to find the defuse. But first, they're going to have to take down Assault. And Assault spots out that nobody's hitting that defuse just yet. So he still has a little bit of time to work with. Spots Classic on Spots Classic on the wrap, but he's not even going to hop that right now. DiamondCon automatically jumps on this defuse. Assault making the full wrap around. He's going to spot him out. 10 seconds left. Classic, wow. He's got to fly for this one, but Assault just won it all.
Wow. Assault really is that guy right now inside of this game. I mean, felt like every time you needed a trade to get the numbers back in your favor, Assault was there to do it. And even in that last round, a massive 1 versus 2. And just plays it to perfection. Constantly checks the bomb. As soon as he realizes nobody's on, backs up, plays his corner, does exactly what he needs to do. And then inside of that very last, what was it, 10-15 seconds, saw nobody was on the bomb, just barely scrapes his way around the corner. And unfortunately, I think he got a little bit of a over-aggressive chow from the 705 boys to maybe chase that kill in through the ramp up towards Church. And he just makes the right read, jumps around the corner, able to find the final kill from the defensive spawn, and is able to win the game out there. It's just a great game from Ironblood Gaming, and honestly, just truly showing their defensive prowess inside of Search and Destroy.
I mean, they picked apart 705 time and time again, Jesse. I think that it was a very impressive offensive round 2 right off the start. That play through Command Center, through Church, it's something that you and I realistically haven't seen yet from a team just be that aggressive. And they tried it again a couple rounds later. The only thing is they didn't keep on moving forward. They eventually ended up stopping because I think 705 Esports, they did have a player there to spot it out. But you saw that Ironblood Gaming coming into this Search and Destroy, they were bringing out strategies that even you and I haven't seen yet.
Yeah, I mean, that strategy right off the start of the game to send 3 players in through Command Center and then push in through the little broken room to get in towards the Church and just take first blood like that worked out really, really well. And you just really didn't see many players on 705 even adjust to that on the defense either, where they just were leaving that room open. So it's just something that they're going to have to think about the next time if these 2 teams do go up against each other again on a Tuscan Search and Destroy, is that they'll probably need to start sending some players to watch that out. But definitely 705 are going to go back, take a look at their offenses, and really try to figure something out going forward on this map mode combination.
You look at the scoreboard for it was there, and not a lot of differences other than Royalty being 2-8. Not the best game out of him, but Ironblood Gaming now even us up 1-1 in the series. Going into this Berlin Control, it's going to be a map mode swing game here, as winner's going to take the advantage in this series. But it's not just here, Jesse. Over in our Red Wolves series versus Valor Esports, it's going to be a Tuscan Search and Destroy going the way of Valor to put them up 2-0. And heading into their own Berlin Control, it's Red Wolves facing elimination on that map.
Yeah, and that's going to be a tough one, right, for the Red Wolves to be able to take. They're 1-3 on a Berlin Control as well, so definitely not the easiest situation for the Red Wolves to be in. But again, this is one of those spots right now where you're probably just trying to get reps on your worst maps just to get more practice in. And this was something that I kind of went back to yesterday a little bit, was that for the Red Wolves, for example, it's 4 players who have never been inside of the Challengers Elite before. They've never been playing up against this type of competition at a consistent timing and level inside of the elite stages like we see right now. And so for them, this is just a really good practice for them. It's a really good first opportunity. It's basically like when you're playing a rank system and you go up to your next rank for the very first time and you're playing up against these really, really good players. It takes us some time. You need to learn from your mistakes and come back hotter. And hopefully that they'll have an opportunity again inside of the next elite stage to kind of come back, learn from their mistakes, and maybe improve on that, because it's not easy to go up to that next level every single time and just be able to find that instant success. And they haven't been able to do so yet, but there's definitely an opportunity for them here. And I love that they're still going in and playing maps that they're not the most comfortable on yet, because Berlin has been out for 2 weeks now. So it's definitely still not a map that everybody's super comfortable on. And they'll have a good opportunity now to get some more reps on it.
We get 2 chances to learn it here on the desk because we're watching it on both series. And it seems like Valor Esports and Red Wolves are ready to go in their control, Jesse. So we're going to hop over to that series. Starting off with this first round, it's going to be Valor on the defense. Looks like Valor is going to be on the defense first, and Red Wolves, they want to go for the offense right to A, right away, get it under control, but it's not going to be that easy because it looks like Valor, they want to take a swing at it, and they're going to find 3 down to take over.
And this is a strategy you see quite often, is teams on the offense trying to hit over towards the A site right away just to be able to break their way in. It's generally the easier zone to be able to capture as well, but so far haven't been able to do so yet, and we have a 4-life lead now going in the way of Valor. Looks like we might be seeing a little bit of an overextension here from the Red Wolves. They'll send 2 players over towards B. They do win out on one of the gunfights, but unfortunately lose out on the second. And it's just going to be a little bit of a staggered push over towards B, and all the numbers from Valor are now wrapping their way back to B as well.
Still Geo going to be posted up inside this, working on that first ticket progression. Juju alongside him. Rex now last one to really spoil the fun here. Big one-on-one here versus Geo. Rex is actually going to just hop right out of this, concede that first tick. Geo is going to take it into his own hands. Just fly on forward. Will be dropped by Exotic. Well, this is a good chance now for Red Wolves to get a second ticket progression here. Still Valor throwing some bodies here, and they're going to clean up those 2 players. Exotic getting it done with all 3. And Red Wolves now, they got to go back to the drawing board, and at some point, you need to go over to that A zone, Jesse.
Yeah, you do, and unfortunately, you only end up walking away with 1 ticket progression. There was really, really close to being able to find that second tick onto the B zone. But with 38 seconds left, now you can see the Red Wolves full focus going over towards A. They need to try to lock this down, but Exotic with a flank from behind could really spoil the fun.
Up from the top ropes, he's on the hunt. Knows exactly where he needs to go. Another 2 down for Red Wolves. They're surging in just one by one, falling into the zone. Exotic's going to find another one. He's on 3 in a row. Just being so annoying inside mailroom. Hops on out on another flank, Jesse. Just tucks him into the corner. No idea, Darksteve. Just no idea where Exotic is. This has to be the most annoying thing to play against.
Exotic is just playing corner after corner right now, and I think he just got an idea of where Geo is as well. If he didn't know before, he knows now. On 5 in a row, make that 6 in a row through middle, and Yeez will combine to find another, and yeah, that is Valor just wiping the Red Wolves off this first round, and I don't think they got they got one ticket progression.
It's just Exotic going from corner to corner inside that B zone, Jesse, and never really letting it go. Let's hop back over to our main matchup, Iron Blood Gaming, 705 Esports inside their Berlin first round. It's going to be 705 on the defense, Iron Blood on their own offense, already working that second ticket progression into A. You can see that 705, they want to get a little bit of map control before flooding on in. They're going to concede the second tick. You can see all 3 players posting up over towards the train yard, and they actually might just give up A.
Yeah, it does seem like that's the case here. Assault was trying to make the overextension through docks as well, just to start to be a little bit annoying to the 705 players. But 705 is in a great spot right now just to shut down any pushes from Iron Blood. As soon as Pristini falls, he should spawn right up pretty much where he needs to play the defense inside of the backline here. Will find another one, but unfortunately falls at the hand of Assault again. And now they look to try to make this push in through the back, and Diamond Con's going to come across to just kind of help out support on the backside.
First, they got to get rid of Royalty. Nice shots from Royalty to stay alive. Welly now in the deep end of 705 Esports spawn, and he's going to get overwhelmed by 3 players. Royalty gets cleaned up, but next up to the chopping block will be Pristini, and he has his trade. They get rid of those Iron Blood players on the flank, Jesse. They get rid of the pressure through train station. Now, 705, realistically, they only have to keep their eyes to the middle of the map. You have a little bit of an overextension here from Classic and Diamondcon, and both of them are going to go down simultaneously. It's big things now for 705 on the inside of this point. You got Royalty and Pristini on the flank. Inside this is going to be Assault. Noisy next up. Royalty already finds the first. Tags up Noisy, but he's not going to find the kill. In fact, Noisy stays alive. He's going to transfer to 2. 4 go down, Jesse. This is dangerous.
And they get a 3 stack in as well, so the ticks are going to go up super quickly here. And because they've got the 3 stack, everybody on 705 has to wrap through small choke points, through upper courtyard, and that is a beautiful round victory on offense there for Iron Blood Gaming.
I mean, it's just 0 to 100 so fast. You can see in our live look in, Valor takes that first round, and they're about to actually take their second round, Jesse, on offense as well, as they captured the B zone, working on the A zone, and that should be done and dusted shortly with how good Exotic is playing. But, I mean, just to kind of dial things back into this one, wow. Iron Blood Gaming, they were really backed up on that B zone. And just one little play from Noisy to stay alive. He peeks up, he finds 2, and they get that 3 stack, and it's over.
It's all it really takes over at the A zone, right? Or over at the B zone is just one big break, and then you just zone out the other players. Once that happens, it works out really, really easily for your team to be able to break into B. Because once you get in there, it's pretty much just holding it like the hard point is, right? So as soon as you get that one wipe that you need, that's how you get in. So that's the big thing on defense is you just can't get wiped. And as soon as it happens, it's an instant zone cap.
705 looking to do the exact same thing on their offense. The A site thing worked on. Only one player going to be on the inside, so that progression is moving slowly. Look at the mini-map, Jesse. You can see that Iron Blood Gaming kind of mirroring what 705 did on their defense. They have full control of the train yard. Assault's in a position just to pick off those respawns. And realistically, before you get into this B zone, you have to take care of both Assault and Welly.
Yeah, and that's why you saw the likes of 705 doing this on their defense as well, is because even if you fall, you just spawn back up upper courtyard or inside of the back of where the crane is. You basically spawn up in that spawn no matter what, so there's no hurt into overextending here because you'll be able to be back in time to be able to set up a good defense for yourselves, and it's exactly what Iron Blood does. They all fall, but they all get set right back up exactly where they need to. And now if you see 705 coming off spawn, they now need to find another break in to just even be able to touch their toes inside of this zone.
Pristini should have to slide on in. Royalty's going to clean up Assault before he gets there, and that's going to leave Pristini in a pretty awkward situation. Trades ring out. It's going to be 3-on-3. Royalty takes it into his own hand to just hop into the zone, stop the clock at a minute 27. And another one from Royalty as well, just to keep himself cemented on the inside. Here comes the rest of 705 here to help him out, but not going to get there fast enough.
Oh, Noisy. He just got worked.
He really did, but even still, though, 705, they still have a lot to get through, Jesse.
They really do. It's like I said when we came into this round, you need to find one solid wipe onto B to get your way into there, and they just haven't been able to find it yet. It's been just constant trades back and forth, and now Royalty pretty much just making an individual push forward. That's never going to work on a map like this, and unfortunately ends up falling. We have a minute left, a 12v12, and 705 need to really set up to try to make a solid push here together.
Assault finds Diamond Come before he goes down. And again, just keeping 705 at a man disadvantage for this B Assault. Over and over again, we see the same thing happen. Iron Blood Gaming are holding their own on defense. And because they found that offense, they have a chance here to go up 2-0 in this map. They just need to either burn off 40 more seconds, Jesse, or clean up 2 more waves of a 705 attack. And they are in a fantastic position to get this one done. You can see 705 trying to find an inch just to get into it. Pristini's going to take down Assault, or Exceed. Immediately traded out. Assault doubles down. Noisy gets information on one. Immediately snaps on a classic. Flies to Diamond Come, but Welly cleans it up. 16 seconds left. This should be well over.
Assault and Noisy have been ridiculous inside of this map. 14-7 for Assault, double positive. Noisy 12-9. Might as well be double positive. I know it's not exactly there, but I mean, it just feels like every time Noisy's on the screen, he's finding a 2-piece outside of when Pristini maybe worked them a little bit earlier in the round, but it does not matter. Iron Blood Gaming, very, very dominant defense there. 705 really never had an opportunity to even touch inside of that B zone. And even with being up 2-0, you're also up 6-3 now in terms of tick count. So even if you do end up losing out on these next 2 rounds, you're in a great spot to have an opportunity at closing this out. But let's not count 705 out of this one yet. They definitely still have an opportunity here. You just need to stabilize on defense and roll that momentum and hopefully win an offensive round here to find yourselves into a round 5. But the one thing that we do know for sure is that they will need to win an offense here now.
He might not be double positive, Jesse, but the kills that he's getting just makes him look so big on the map. is so impactful. And now moving back onto their offense, you saw it last time, 705 completely gave up this A zone, prioritizing the defensive setup towards train yard. It blew up in their face. You got 4 down, and immediately Ironblood Gaming seized the opportunity to control B. Well, right away, you can see that Ironblood looking to put some pressure over towards B while they capture that A zone, and it's keeping 705 really in a staggered out position, Jesse, that they haven't really been able to get a control of this map and inside the round.
Oh, and Colin, in our live looking as well, we have a 2v4, really close round right now. Coming out of Red Wolves, Valor down to 1, so this should be a round win for Valor over there as well. They'll extend that just a little bit longer. They were able to take an offense, so definitely Red Wolves not out of it yet, still keeping their fight, but we got home back in now over towards Ironblood versus 705. Very close matchup between these two guys as well on this mode. But it looks right now like Ironblood just have the number of 705. They get the B zone. They get the A zone. Now everybody moves over towards A, and now they can start to pinch these players inside of upper courtyard once again.
Oh, well, he goes down. Royalty hops on in. He's going to slow down this progression, taking down a seed. First thing he posts it up, gets an eye onto Noisy, immediately rips him out of the hill as well. Salt in no position to hop on in, still trying to play coy, still trying to pick away at the 705 defense. Succeeds, going to get the trade now, 2v3 in favor of Ironblood. Well, he takes down Royalty with a Hail Mary. And now look at Noisy's positioning, Jesse. He's looking to get this flank. He's looking to put this out of commission with spoiling the fun in behind enemy lines.
The big thing here for 705 might not even be time right now. It's lives as well. 17-13, they're down very big. And Assault's in a great spot to play spoiler even more here inside of this map. He's in a spot where he can just kind of get in behind the players, get into an uncomfortable spot, and start to shut things down. Persini's in another good spot, though, for the likes of 705, just to try to combat this flank play starting to come through from Assault.
Things slow down for a moment, but you imagine Ironblood ready to get this moving. As he's going to find the first, spearheading this attack. He finds a second. You need some big things at a time to kind of proceeding, and they're going to answer. 2 kills swing the way of 705. It's going to even us up in the kill count now. Assault Exceed trying to hold on to their own, Jesse. 48 seconds. Can 705 weather the storm? They're going to hop back into the zone. You can see Exceed and Assault wrapping around this alleyway. Exceed's going to take down Diamondcon. Wants to hop into it, but he's not going to get there. Classic around to the flank. Royalty finds a third. 3 go down. And Ironblood, they still have to wait a little bit longer before taking this round.
Those kills are massive because they allow 705 to stabilize. They allow 705 to push out through the train as well, just to shut things down, not allow Ironblood to get up fast enough, get up close to this hill. But 2 players go down. That should open up an avenue now for Ironblood to have an opportunity to be able to get back inside of B.
Well, that had to be it right there. Now you're just going to need Noisy. Alone and afraid inside enemy lines, 54 HP, gets spotted out. Diamondcon's hunting him down, but Noisy's just going to back down, takes the gunfight on his own terms, won't be able to find anything more. Nobody's going to be able to touch Jesse, so 705, they will stay alive inside the control for another round. It was a close battle on that B zone, but they weather the storm, they get it done, and we're heading to a 4th round.
Noisy has been massive inside of this game for Ironblood Gaming. Every time he has an opportunity to kind of try to spearhead the push or try to get inside of that B zone, it really feels like it's always Noisy who's the player popping off for Ironblood. And multiple opportunities inside of that round created by Noisy just never fully got closed out there for Ironblood Gaming, and they weren't able to close the round off. So now 705 has a very good opportunity to bring themselves back inside of this map here. You've already won your defense. Now comes the hard part. You need to win an offense. In their last offense, they were all over A early on, but struggled to find any success over at the B zone.
Well, early break off is going to be 2-2 in that kill feed. Classic made the overextension play, so now Ironblood Gaming going to have to dedicate some resources in removing him from this position, but it's not going to be easy. Classic, 3 in a row. He's on a 5 spree, holding this B zone by himself. Now Persini's here to stack it. The second tick should be cemented, Jesse, before they get into the mix, but Classic still here to tear things up, still on a streak. Looking for 6 in a row. He's going to find it. Can he get this glide bomb? Still tucked away. Well, he's going to cut him down before that happens. Exceed's going to be there, but it's going to be Assault to take down the rest.
Wow.
And that B zone still alive, but that was a close one.
They get it just in the nick of time. They're able to hop in, and oh my God, Colin, our
Round
live
five.
look, and they go to a round 5 as well. We'll have to keep our eyes peeled on that one as this map comes to an end, but 705 very much so with an opportunity now to be able to win this out. They've got the B zone with 2 ticks of progression. They've already got 1 tick of progression into A, and A generally is the zone that you end up just chalking if you're the defensive side of the team. And Ironblood Gaming, it looks like they want to try to take one more shot at this, but they have no angle to be able to get into the zone, and this should be A done. All you need is 1 tick of progression over towards B.
Jesse, my prescription of the glasses, I don't think they're good enough to see, but I'm pretty sure I saw Exotic had 37 kills in that control, and he is really having a game, and the fact that that's in a round 5, I am mind-boggled. 705, they want to do the exact same thing, only need 1 more tick into this B zone. You have that A zone, half the map under control. All 4 players are there, but Ironblood Gaming, they have flipped this out. They've completely taken control of the other side. Classic and Pristina are going to find the opening here. If they overwhelm this last player Exceed, they're going to get control of this zone. Dwelly still alive, but they know exactly where he is. Working on this last take, he has to get in. 2 players are here. Classic takes down Assault. The contention's going to be in. Noisy breaks back through. Oh my word, this is so close.
It's Noisy again to break their way through, but you only have 2 players here right now if you're Ironblood Gaming. The other 2 still coming off spawn. They at least get the tick kind of taken away. There's still a little bit of progression onto it, but a 3-for-1 trade will come down, and now 705 have an opportunity to try to push back into this one again, but the 705 team just have not been able to take advantage, and B, again, the tick of progression completely mitigated. And Ironblood Gaming, they stabilize on defense.
Well, there's so much time, but just the small little mistakes coming out from 705, it's punishing them. That life lead that they have, it's gone. It's dissipated. 6 lives left for 705 to attack this B zone. And remember, Jesse, this is a swing map, so each team just looking for their advantage inside the series. You can see now 705, 1 last chance to get a full hit at this zone. Royalty's going to find Noisy starting a flank of his own. The rest are going to come barreling on in. Classic's a second. Diamondcon into the zone. 3 go down. Now Assault, he has to go big. He has to dedicate himself back to this point. Cooking the nade's going to be in. This last little bit of progression there. Noisy hops in. Royalty's going to take him down. Nobody touches the point. 705, they hold on again. They get it done. Around 5 in the control, Jesse, for the swing map mode.
And what makes this even more fun is I'm pretty sure we're tied at 9-9 in terms of total tick progression as well. So I have absolutely no idea who's about to get this final defense here. But if 705 clutch up and they have a defense now as well, it would have been crazy. But no, they're back on offense again, Colin. And we're going to need to see if they can pull it off here.
Oh my.
It'll have to be 3 straight rounds for 705, 2 straight offenses on Berlin to take it away. We take one more look at our pitcher-in-pitcher, and it looks like it's an 8-6 life lead for Red Wolves right now, and almost no time remaining while they try to break inside of the B zone themselves.
Oh, the break's going to be there. Oh, it's a team nade. It's a team stun. Oh, Red Wolves are throwing this one away. Valor Esports with a 3-0 in that game, in that series. Wow. Oh, Red Wolves gave it their all. They just could not get it back. Now 705. Can they get it done in their own right? They're going to be into the B zone already, Jesse. 2 ticks into the A zone. Assault's going to find 2. Noisy, 3 in a row. 4 Ironblood to hold on to B. Not give up that tick of progression. And it seems like they want to flat A as well. They're just going to jump on in. Noisy, not into it just yet. The contention's not about, but they didn't let that 3rd tick come through, Jesse.
Oh, they get inside. They finally let it through. Noisy not onto the hill in time to completely shut it down. But you know what? They'd still kind of get the job done, right? You still bring the lives back into your favor a little bit here. The one player you really need to be worried about right now, if you're Ironblood, is Classic. Making the flank play in from behind, and Noisy already reading it like a book. Sitting up in the window by the double staircase, just shutting things down, not allowing them to overextend. But it looks like everybody on 705 is looking to make that same overextension.
And this is what made it happen last time, Jesse. A full flank play, but Welly spawns up. He's going to find Pristini. Just lacking a little bit far behind. He drops as well. Still haven't found your way in. Royalty tucked away in the corner is going to take down Welly. Now time to fly on forward if you're 705 Esports trying to take control of this zone, but Exceed and Noisy, they answer back with 2 of their own. Welly off spawn, he's going to cut down Pristini, and now Diamondcon trapped away. He's going to get cleaned up by the rest of the crew.
And now comes the hard part. We saw this in the last round. 705 took attempt after attempt after attempt to get into B, but this time through, a little bit different. You don't have those 2 ticks of progression already through, so it's going to be a lot harder to be able to get 3 solid ticks in a row on this zone. And life count should not become a problem here. Absolutely, even between these 2 teams at the moment. So if you're 705, it really comes down to just grouping up and trying to make a solid team push together. But it's hard when you've got Ironblood on all these different head glitches just shutting you down.
That shot from Exceed, it was disgusting, to say the least. I mean, this has been the bane of 705's existence, Jesse, throughout this whole Berlin control, as this B zone has been so hard for them to take. It's really been down to the wire both rounds, and, you know, they're 1 for 1 right now. Classic chance to take life lead, but he's going to be cut down by Exceed. Diamond for the trade, 10v10. Inside of this 5th round, Jesse, as things are about to get noisy.
And only 30 seconds left to work with as well. So eventually these pushes are going to become a lot more staggered, where they're just trying to send everybody at the hill at once. They will find a 3-man wipe. It's really going to be up to Noisy to make a big play here on the defense.
I said things have to be noisy. Well, let's see what happens. Pristini puts a plug in it. And now a chance for 705 to put this one away. Working on that 3rd tick. Diamondcon here to spoil the fun for the rotations. Quelly at least able to find 1, but here's Diamondcon 5 in a row. Pristini cuts down the rest. And 705 Esports, they find a reverse sweep in Berlin control to take the swing map.
That was a ridiculous comeback from 705. I mean, the fact that you got beat as badly as you did on your first offense, complete 180 that inside your second offense. You basically make a different attempt at trying to break into it. You go towards B a little bit earlier on. You get 2 ticks of progression. But Colin, I won't lie to you. That final round on offense there from 705, it felt very, very similar to their first round, except they finally got the break that they needed. They finally set up a 4-man unit coming through train station. They got all the kills they needed to. They left Noisy all by himself to just have to make a massive play for the defense. Noisy couldn't go big enough to get it. And as soon as you get that 4 down and you get inside of that B zone, it is exactly like just holding it inside of a hard point. They knew exactly where they needed to push out, and they shut down Ironblood Gavin as they tried to break back in. And that was a beautiful reverse sweep inside of that control.
Let's take a look at the scoreboard, Jesse, for that, because that was just insane. Well, we're going to start off with Valor versus Red Wolves, and Exotic 40 and 28. He put in work for that one. I feel like he was sweating buckets just to get that map done. As you see, Gio will be the same thing. 45 and 27 for himself. Quite the game out of the young gun here in the Elite Season 3. But sadly enough, Red Wolves, they couldn't get it done. They're going to fall 3-0 to Valor inside of the series. And that's going to be their Elite Season done for both teams. But for Red Wolves, I mean, you walk out, losing to Valor Esports. Now that's Valor's ticket to maybe moving a little bit higher inside of the standings.
Absolutely. One other thing, you talk about Geo, 5,000 damage. Hello.
Oh, yeah,
I mean, a crazy map out of Geo, and 10 spree as well at one point inside of that game, trying everything for Red Wolves. I believe when we took our look-ins that it was a 2-0 lead for 705, or sorry, for the likes of Valor. But then Red Wolves were able to bring it back. They tied it up. They just weren't able to get the same reverse sweep done that we saw on the other hand. And now we can take a look at the final stats from our main match that we were looking into. An Assault, massive game from him, 34 and 24. Noisy ended up slowing down a little bit towards the end of the game there, but they did so much through the early rounds. But in the later rounds, it was just clutch up after clutch up from 705 Esports.
Yeah, and as Noisy slows down, it seems like it was more so 705 started pushing on the gas a little bit. You were seeing Classic was heating up. I think Pristini was finding a couple wins for those rotations. And inside the hill, Diamondcon and Royalty were constantly winning their gunfights. And realistically, in that whole sense, you look at the 2 games that we have, they were pretty much mirrored. The only difference is 705 actually got the reverse sweep done. They're going to win out on this swing map, go up 2-1 inside the series. And as we take a look at those maps, what do we have next? It's going to be a Bow, Kosh, Jesse, and if you're 705, you're looking at a Bokash. You saw what they did yesterday. This is not a team that you want to meet on Bokash.
Well, that was Bokash S&D though, right? So it's a little bit different, definitely a way different pace, although not the way 705 was playing it yesterday. You're absolutely correct in saying that. 705 was just running at the other team. I believe it was Valor that they were playing yesterday, right, on Bokash S&D. They were just running at them the entire time inside of that search and destroy. So you're absolutely right. You never know, but I actually do think that this could be a really good map for Ironblood Gaming coming into it. I mean, yes, they're only 1-1 at this map mode combination, and 705 is 3-1 at Bokash Hardpoint. But I think with how badly you got beat inside of map 1 as Ironblood, yes, you heated up at the very end of it. I think that this could be a good map for them just because it's not as systematic as a Tuscan or a Berlin is.
We're just going to have to find out, folks. We're going to throw it to a quick break while we get things set up. And when we come back, Ironblood Gaming, they're looking to force us to a map number 5. We'll see you there. And welcome back as we're hopping into this game number 4. Ironblood Gaming looking to push this to a map number 5, and they have to go through a Bokash first to get there. As you can see, 705 with the early break, they're going to keep this an even 4-on-4. But realistically, you're looking at 705 here. They want to make the full wrap around. They want to take control of these spawns and flip out Ironblood Gaming. But that's not going to be the easiest case. You can see Ironblood, they completely disengage. They post up. They deal with the pressure. See, looking to clean up Diamondcon as well, and he's going to take him down. So things getting scrappy here, but Ironblood Gaming focusing on the rotation of P2. Holding on to these spawns are going to be a very crucial thing. And even into the second hill, I mean, already posted up for Ironblood. This should be some good time here. 705, unless they find an early break into this, they're going to have some trouble slipping their way in. They make it snappy. They make it scrappy at least. And Classic's going to find 2. Allows Royalty to flood on in, find a 3rd. Exceed will be spawning up all the way over towards that river bend. He will take down Classic. With that early break now, 705, it's their chance to put this a little bit out of distance, going into that second hill right away. See if they can manage to find a lead of their own, as it's only looking like player number 4 is going to be here. Exceed trying to spoil the fun. He's not going to get anything done at all. And into the second hill, it's been really close, neck and neck. But 705, they have the smallest lead going into this hill 3.
And looking across to hill 3, it's going to be the likes of Ironblood Gaming set up first here. 705 from the front trying to break in. The spawns will be in favor of Ironblood, but you have an opportunity here for your 705 to break from the front and now try to pin them in the back here, but you need to win out on a lot of these gunfights. Beautiful first one from Royalty.
But here comes Ironblood off those better spawns. They might be down a player. You can see Noisy post up in the corner. You got to win those ones. Classic sends him to the grave, and he's in fact going to find 2 as well, allowing 705 to really push these lanes. Classic now 3 in a row before he drops. And with these close spawns on Bokash, Ironblood, they get right back into the mix. But it's been all 705 so far. Royalty's going to clean up Exceed and Welly. And that should be the rest of the time, or at least a little bit more time going the way of 705.
This reminds me a lot of the first hard point, where it just feels like all the trades just end up going the way of 705 by the end of them. It's just making it that much harder on Ironblood to find a significant amount of time here inside of this game, and 705 is still doing it. They're still finding more and more time. You got this hit a few more times from Ironblood, but still 705 walk away with the remaining scrap time here. They'll be at around 70 seconds at the end of this hill, heading in towards barn. This is the first time we're going to have a very full setup here for Ironblood Gaming.
I was looking back to the stats, Jesse, and 705, they didn't just play Valor on Bokash S&D. They played them on Hardpoint, too, and they won that 250 to 175. So, with this team, they've been around the block so far in the Elite on Bokash Hardpoint. They're looking now to put this series away in this fourth map. They find the break in the barn now. They're holding on to this time. You look how far away Ironblood are spawning, and Royalty just punishing them. He's wrapping around the house. He's unkillable, unstoppable on the map. He's on a 4 spree, looking for those streaks now, and he very well can get this one done now on the hunt for Assault, but he won't get there in time. Noisy's finally going to take him down.
It's just ridiculous from 705. Another big break, or I guess another big hold there. They didn't even need to find the break. They were already inside. And they basically hold on to the remaining time here as well. More scrap time going in their favor. And at some point, if you're Ironblood, you can't just keep giving up all this scrap time. It's just adding more and more time to 705's lead here. And what is it? Around a 60-point lead here for 705. And I mean, once you're in a situation like this, it is so hard to come back from on a map like Bocage.
They do it again. Jesse breaking into this P5. Royalty posted up on the willow tree. The rest of them on the high ground. Well, Classic soaks up this time, and all the gunfights on the draw go the way of 705. Quick trades from Welly and Exceed. 3 go down. Classic now left alone in the hill. Can he go big? So far, he can.
Oh my God.
Still soaking up this time. 4 HP. He wants to chow more. He has to chow more, but walking to his death should be Ironblood Gaming for the break, as Diamondcon now the closest one to this hill. And Welly's going to shut that down.
Yeah, it's the right play to fly forward there, just because you've got your teammates coming off your back. They can try to reinforce in, but for the first time, it feels like forever. Ironblood Gaming will pick up the scrap time here. And honestly, with where they're spawning up right now and pushing out, they should be able to get inside of this P1 hill a little bit earlier on here than what you see from the likes of 705. But I think there might be a problem because 705 is just sitting inside of their spawn right now.
Oh, looks like lobby crashed, so
There's
an issue. Yeah, I was like, Assault was supposed to play a little bit of Minecraft. Let's try to grab some resources there. But realistically, I mean, 705, they had that in the bag. They were in control of that whole game, rotation to rotation. And just like we saw in that Search and Destroy yesterday on Bocage, they were bullying to make it happen. I think Ironblood Gaming, they really got thrown off their footing, and they never really restabilized.
Yeah, they were up, what, like 80 points, 120 to like 40 there for a little bit going into that one. And then Ironblood picked up the back 15, so I would imagine it was around a 65-point lead at the end of that first set of rotations for 705. Obviously, I don't have the exact math inside of our heads, but we'll just have to wait for confirmation on what is going to end up happening with that one there. I would imagine 705, if we get a replay, we'll have some sort of an advantage going into that with the big lead that we saw from them there.
And, you know, inside this hardpoint, I think there's like a little bit that we're seeing from Ironblood Gaming really show their weaknesses on the rotations constantly. I mean, the setups are there, but, I mean, the setups are not really allowing them to have line of sight on their teammates whatsoever. And 705, as soon as they find one, it's just, I guess, a chain reaction from one to the other. It's either Royalty or Diamondcon just picking them apart. And when that happens, it allows other players to be enabled, like Prasini to get set up in his own power position, or Classic to find some routes to run. And you can see that just Ironblood Gaming never really feeling comfortable, it looks like, on this Bocage hardpoint. It allows 705 really to just hold control of the whole rhythm.
Yeah, I mean, even when they were setting up, right, they're just getting broken immediately. Look back to when we went to Grandma's house for the first time. Ironblood was there first. They had the setup sort of that they wanted. I wouldn't say they had a significant setup, but 705 was able to break back in. You look over towards the barn, the building right next to it, the very next hardpoint hill. That was a good-looking setup for Ironblood. 705 broke that with ease and got the back spawns. And then even to P5, again, Ironblood first team there. First team really set up, and 705 from the front of the hill. Just honestly, an easy break-in. It just needs to be a little bit better from Ironblood once we get this replay going in, because they cannot allow 705 to just keep walking into the front of the hills without having the spawns and just bullying their way through.
I know. I feel like it's just a little bit of heartbreak in some of those hard points you get in your head. It gets frustrating from hard point to hard point. They had the rotations, they had things unlocked, so I hopefully, like you say, going into the restart, they can get things like under control. They can find those rotations and they can win their gunfights. But folks, when we get this back up, we're gonna cut to another short break, get the players lobbied up, figure out what happened inside of it. When we come back, we'll hop right back into the Bocage hardpoint. After a little bit of discussion, some back and forth between teams, we're ready to go with this map 5 or map 4 once again. And the decider is that 705. They need to get 210 points to win this one out. Ironblood Gaming, they're going to need the whole 250, Jesse.
Yeah, and not exactly sure how we come to that conclusion, but you know what? we get what's done, and Ironblood, they're going to be looking to have a little bit better of a map here than what we saw inside of the last one. Because let's be honest, they were down like 80 points at the end of that first set of rotation. So to be able to walk into this one with only having a 40-point lead going the way of 705, take that every day of the week. But already right off the rip here, Ironblood Gaming not putting a ton of focus on that P1, really focusing on trying to get a ton of time here on P2 and trying to get a setup. But we saw a lot of breaks from 705 in the last set of rotations. Their holds need to be more on point here.
Well, it's the exact same thing we saw at Ironblood Gaming the first go around. The only thing is that they were broken right away, like you're alluding to. So far, this has been a lot better, Jesse. I'm seeing a lot more pressure back towards 705. And, I mean, you look at the kill streak right now for Ironblood Gaming. It's what, like 9 kills in a row across the whole team. Make it 10 kills in a row for the whole team. So 705, they have really been oppressed off the start of this boat. Conch Hardpoint now looking for a break into this P2 hill.
Yeah, 705 was rolling before this replay, and unfortunately for them now, looks like Ironblood getting a good start to this game. Exactly what they needed here. Trades will go down. 705 might be able to break in. No, they're not going to be able to. Ironblood with a solid hold, and with holding on to the remainder of this timer, it's pretty much going to mitigate any lead that 705 had from that first replay.
One last swing at the hill, it looks like, from 705. A little bit undecided. But even still, it's going to be shot there. Well, he's going to get ripped off. Assault and Exceed. The next one's up, and it looks like they're going to collect the scrap time, Jesse. 58 and counting going into this third hill. And Noisy looking to slip the line, see if he can punish a couple of these sprays. He's going to find Royalty all the way in the back. Should force some attention at a 705 Esports.
705, they do hold on to those back spawns still, but they don't seem to have a very comfortable hold here at the moment. But this is really where we saw them start to pop off before our replay was on this hill. It was pretty much a tie game, and then they came to this hill, and this is where they start to really kind of run away with the score, start to bring it more and more into their favor, but they still yet to get those back spawn controls like we saw the first time through. And this is a much better game so far here from Ironblood Gaming.
Oh, it's fantastic. A 50-point game, almost 60-point game. Classic's going to find 2 in a row. Looking for number 3 on the staircase. It's going to be Prestini to clean him up. It's a clean 4 down. The only player dropping will be Classic, and that flips the spawns out for Ironblood Gaming. But realistically, Jesse, I mean, in this position, you're not too upset with that if you're Ironblood.
No, not at all. Like I said, before we came through to P3, they pretty much have gotten the whole lead back that they've given from having to go through and play out the replay. So if you're Ironblood, you're just still trying to close this one out. But 705, they're definitely still within a shot of being able to close this out. It's practically a tie game at the moment, and 705 looking to break in from the front of barn.
Classic on screen. Flies on in. It's going to be Royalty to find Assault. By the time Classic sees somebody, it's Noisy, and Noisy's been having his number so far. In goes the contention here for Ironblood. Assault will take down Prestini. Still trades working it out, but it's going to be Diamond Con to link up with 2 in a row. Royalty finds a third. Assault now the only one here to punish, but he goes down, and that's the break for 705 that they've been looking for. 30 seconds to pick up. You still have Ironblood spawning in the back, so they will dedicate some lives into this, some resources. And in fact, they're going to find a break, Jesse. 3 go down. It's Assault and Exceed to make it happen. And now 705 Esports on the outside looking in. They just got manhandled in Barn.
The fact that DiamondCon just found 2, though, absolutely ridiculous. But you're not wrong. Ironblood, they break their way back in. It's what happens when you have those closer spawns. It makes it that much easier to be able to find your way through. And The only problem right now that I'm seeing for Ironblood is that you're spawning all the way across the map at the moment towards the next hill. So 705 will be in a great spot here to try to lock down a chunk of time over here inside of the river and try to bring themselves right back into this game and maybe even lead at the end of the first set of rotations here.
Big kill out of Noisy. Almost finds a second. Again, it's only Assault here. Manages to catch Diamondcon looking around the back. And as he drops, look how far Ironblood are spawning. Pristini's got eyes on the cross as well, so he's able to pick off Exceed. And now Ironblood Gaming really far behind for this break. You got Noisy making a late flank. He will find Diamondcon. That's going to lead the charge down for the rest of them. Traded out 3v3 on the inside of this hill. Pristini finds a second one. Snaps around. It's going to be Welly. Unfortunately, he loses his life. Luckily, his teammates still turning up, Jesse. And 705, they've evened this back up. They've, in fact, flipped the lead.
And let's not forget that they have a 40-point lead as well. So we're realistically at the end of the first set of rotations here, 705 will be walking out of this with a 40-point lead still heading into the second set. So practically the exact same way that we started things off. And as good as Ironblood Gaming start was, you're starting to see 705 begin to roll here inside of this map. Classic having a very good map at 17 and 13. Diamondcon as well at 17 and 14. Exactly what you need out of your two players there.
Classic's really been having a strong series since yesterday. It's exactly what you need out of a submachine gun inside of Vanguard. Pristini's going to hop in for time. 190 we go. Nice shots into Exceed. He's got 3 in a row. Snaps back around to Barn. 705 Esports in control of the better spawns as well, Jesse. So they're going to have the first rotations over to P2 unless Ironblood puts some pressure into the backline. And every single opportunity that they've had now to force these routes, they've so far been shut down. It's Assault now on the case to see if he can make something happen.
Yeah, 705 is looking to punish right now. Yet to really be able to do so, but Pristini on 4 in a row. If he can find streaks here as well, that could really spell disastrous for this Ironblood Gaming team. They do sniff them out. They do stop those streaks from coming through. That's a massive kill. Can't be underrated just how big that is. But now heading back over towards P2, we saw the last time through, Ironblood Gaming had the spawns here and never got broken from 705. It's pretty much where they got the majority of their time in the first set of rotations.
There's Noisy. Looking for a break. Pristini, as soon as he sees him, he's gone. Diamondcon on the cross. Big kills coming out from 705 Esports. You can see now time still continuing to move their favor. 122 to 98. They only need 210 points to put this one away, folks, after the reset. That's early in this game 4. Ironblood looking for the push on in. Gonna be in Assault. Exceed slides through. Finds the break on through this hill. But right back into it. 705 Esports. The contention from Assault all the way down into the lower end. Nice shots from Diamondcon. Pops up, finds 2. And Diamondcon really keeping this hill under control.
Yeah, really good job there as they hold on to their remaining time. And they flip the spawns out as well. 705 makes the overextension across the map. They set up inside Grandma's now and look to punish Ironblood Gaming as they need to break from the front.
Here we go, Noisy. Kill into Royalty there. Welly a second as well. It's going to be the break for Ironblood, and the spawns flipped once more. Diamondcon's going to slide on in. Help of Pristini. They take down Welly, but you still haven't gotten rid of the rest of Ironblood Gaming as 705 looking for a way in, but haven't yet really managed to find the kills needed. Noisy from up top. He's going to drop down, finds 1. Second one inside the hill. It's Royalty. Gone and gone. Dusted away is Pristini. And this is Ironblood's chance now to bring things back, Jesse.
If Noisy can find streaks here, that's really your opportunity to come back inside of this game. 27 and 18. Noisy is having himself a map right now. It guns Pristini as well on 5 in a row, but 17 HP needs to play his life here. You need to find streaks out of this life here to bring yourself back into this one.
Well, Noisy's been the make or break for this team so far inside the series. He's going to get some information for the player in the back. Immediately cuts to the middle of the map to take the fight inside. Exceeds finds 2. Pristini will trade out Noisy. Cuts him down, but it's 3 down for 705. Classic now has to force his way into the hill. He will. With a kill into Exceed. That's going to break 705 right back into it, Jesse, and send Ironblood back off the respawn.
Let's not forget, 705, if you're just joining us, has a 40-point lead, so only 50 seconds away from closing this game out here inside of this one. Ironblood Gaming still 100 points away. Need to hit that 250-point mark to close out this game. A big break from the front, though. Noisy finds 2. Diamondcon inside the hill will be able to answer back, though. This is still going to be a very, very scrappy hill all the way to the end, but it looks like 705 at the moment going to come out on top.
And Diamondcon on that Barn Hill, he has been a menace. I mean, last time around, he found a double kill that he probably shouldn't have. This time, 3 in a row. to really hold it down. 171 and counting. Should be 180 before this fifth hill pops open. Noisy's going to find a big kill over towards that river bend. Should dethrone 705 from this early time, but on the case, he's going to be player number 8. Royalty just flies on in. He's going to take him down, and nobody on Ironblood Gaming there to trade.
Oh, but everybody else will win their individual one-on-ones, though, so it's going to keep out 705 from the hill, keep them spawning across the map as well, and this has been a good answer back from Ironblood to bring themselves back into this game, to keep yourself from falling down too far to make it be able to make a feasible comeback against this 705 esports team. And they continue to shut things down. They continue to hold on to this time. The game will show a tie score, but you still have a 40-point lead for 705.
And not a single drop in this hill for 705 esports. It seems like they're looking to dedicate some lives. Classic tries to make a play into the hill, but he gets cut down, and Ironblood now gaining some more progression into this one. It's a break for the scrap time from 705 esports. It doesn't flip out the spawns either, so Ironblood Gaming, they are in a very dangerous situation, Jesse.
Yeah, 24 seconds away from winning the game here if you're 705 esports, and they're inside of P1. Very quickly will get broken, though. No solid hold here, and Ironblood will be able to break from the front, but you still have players lurking here if you're 705. You can't get a consistent setup here.
This is not going to be easy. This is like a game of chess for Ironblood Gaming right now, Jesse. You just have to make the right moves, and you have to do it with some finesse. Assault trying to make his way down to get into this hill. He's going to find a big one onto Classic. Takes out 705 from this hill. 192 to 194. 705, they only need 210. So you have to keep them out of this hill, and you have to find the break for the rotations. Noisy's here. He's going to take down Pristini. Flies onto the back. He's on the case. He's trying to break things away for 705. He's going to find Royalty as well. This might be what you need, and he pulls the spawns, Jesse.
He does pull the spawns, but Diamond Khan's in a situation where he can pull these spawns right back. He needs to find a kill, play his life in the back of stables here, just to keep the possibility of spawns. Another massive 1v1 for Noisy in the back. Will pull the spawns now. Pristini. No, he doesn't. Pristini wins the gunfight out, and everybody on 705 spawns up in the bottom side of the map. They only need 16 seconds to close this game out.
Welly, the front-hand man, can he get it done? Pops into barn for a second, snaps right back down. Big shots on the Pristini. Assault finds the nade on the Classic. 4 go down. Ironblood, they still hold on. They can win it here. Or at least they could get close. But they still need to keep 705 out of the case. And they haven't yet broken those spawns in the back. 10 seconds left for 705 to put this one away, to put away the series. Big nade out of Exceed. Going to take him down. Exceed finds 2. Classic inside the barn. And here comes Exceed. Here comes Welly. Royalty and Classic. Can they hold off? They can't for now. Still some players to keep away from this one. It's going to be Pristini into the hill. Pristini finds 2, but it's Noisy again. One-on-one here for Tyler. Noisy to make it happen. Exceed off this respawn. They're just throwing lives at this, Jesse. But right now, you only need 3 seconds if you're 705 esports, and they just keep on putting the pressure. They're going to hold this one through. They're going to put this one away, and they're going to win this series.
I tell you what, Colin, I am 100% down for making P2 the new P5 and seeing that as our final hill majority of the time. Honestly, that was crazy. I know we've probably never seen a hill or a game finish like that where both teams are so close to being able to win on P2 right there like that, but that was absolutely insane at the very end of that one. But 705 esports, I think that they were just showing once again that they were just the better Bocage team here today and the better hardpoint team. In all honesty, they kind of dusted them inside of map 1, inside of that hardpoint on Tuscan. It was all 705. Ironblood really didn't get anything going until the very end when they made things a little bit competitive. But even in that last Bocage, before the replay, they were up 80 points. Come in, they do the replay, only get a 40-point lead, still get the job done. A great game from 705.
And realistically, it was behind Classic and Diamond Khan inside of that map, Jesse. Throughout the start of it, they were having a fantastic go at Ironblood. Yes, they were down by quite a bit, but as soon as you saw those two kind of starting to work their magic on the map, they started to take things into their own hands, bring things back for 705. And once they got heated up, Jesse, Ironblood Gaming really never had an answer back. They always felt like they were neck and neck tied, and already being down 40 points, that's not what you need to have.
No, for sure. And Ironblood, I think, honestly, had a really good map there. If they didn't have to, give up
You're
those
right.
40 points from the replay, Ironblood was playing a much better map than what we saw the first time through. But unfortunately, it just wasn't enough. And if we do get stats at the very end of this one, it was Noisy who just honestly was playing ridiculous numbers for Ironblood through a lot of that game. But we'll actually get a look at our final maps and modes to see how this series went. And like I said, that first map, it honestly looks a lot more respectable than it was. But 705, they got the map done, 250, I should say, to 135. The Tuscan Search and Destroy, though, was very much so Ironblood Gaming's. But the rest of the series, it was just 705 to take it away. And honestly, once you got reverse sweeped in that control on Berlin, it felt like there was no turning back for 705.
No, they had all momentum going into that fourth map. And we saw it before the reset, Jesse. There was just ruthlessness from 705 Esports in that Bokash hardpoint. The second go around, yeah, we were seeing Ironblood Gaming heat up in their own rights. Noisy was having a great series across all maps, it seemed like, but it's just the small little mistakes that we're seeing out of Ironblood Gaming inside of this Elite Season 3 have been really the bane of their existence. And 705 Esports with a big win here. It makes me curious on what the roster for Ironblood Gaming is going to look like going into the future, Jesse, because it is not a good showing in Elite Season 3.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like, how earlier we were looking and I was saying, like, I think that if you're Valor, you need to make a change here. I don't know if you necessarily need to make a change if you're Ironblood. I mean, Assault is a really, really good AR. I feel like you have all the means and all the pieces to have a very good team here because Noisy has even been popping out. I feel like he's been the standout player for this roster in a lot of situations. So as like the newest player coming into it, I don't know. I feel like Ironblood, maybe give it another go, give it another elite stage. I think you make some adjustments, you make some changes and get some more reps underneath your belt. I feel like this team could still be a really good team. I look at this team and I sit here and I wonder how they finish off the elite stage 3 and 4. But you know what? Maybe if they don't have as slow of a start, this could be a very, very different looking team come another stage from this one on.
Well, who knows what we're going to see? Only time will tell. After all, they are the champions of Challengers Cup 10, which just happened over the weekend. So we know there's success under the belt of this team, especially while they were 18 and cracked earlier on into the season. But that's going to be all for the series tonight. You got Valor 3-0ing Red Wolves and 705 3-1ing Ironblood. That's going to be the end of the regular season as well for this Challenger Elite Season 3. We're going to have playoffs right around the corner. That's going to be the main Challenger stream as well. So stay tuned for that and check it out. But for here, this is going to be all for now. Have a good night, everyone. We'll see you next time on the Clutch stream.